It's like losing your brakes on a hill. The runoff gathers into the main drainages faster, creating higher surges of water, which cut the gullies even deeper, draining even more of the groundwater. Possibilities drain away as the soil and the gift of rain and life spiral down.
Can't anything be done to stop it?
That's what I started wondering. I see these beautiful places bleeding to death, and I started wondering, is there some way I can dance through the rain in the land that can reverse this downward spiral? I tried to work in the gullies since that was where the problem seemed to be, but I learned that the gullies were only the downstream effect, and that the cause lay upslope, where the rain first began running off instead of soaking in. Up there lay hundreds of small possibilities for spreading the runoff. At first they seemed insignificant. The work grows on itself. As more of the water is led onto slower paths around the gullies, less runoff reaches the gullies. Without large flushing flows, the gullies began silting in, which allows plants to grow there. As the gullies fill in, the groundwater cannot drain away as quickly. When I began this work, I saw myself as opposing the runoff and stopping erosion. But this work has grown into a meditation on the two powers.
The two powers?
Yes, you see, rain has a potential energy that can grow in two different ways. If the rain runs off, its energy becomes an erosive power that washes away soil. But if the rain soaks in, it becomes a nourishing power that creates soil. Two powers, the power to drain away possibilities and the power to create them. It can go either way. My work is in service to this invisible power. To feel my spirit transforming from a cynical, what can one person do, into a magical, what can one person do? The fields begin whispering of a new possibility. If all the world is flowing, could this work be a metaphor that can guide the reversal of other downward spirals elsewhere? Like, go high in the drainage. What might that mean? Don't oppose the momentum. Lead it onto new paths instead. Begin with small shifts that are within your power to make. The work will grow on itself as allies emerge. This voice grows louder. Share these stories. Your stories just might help others nourish other upward spirals. But then the rain stops, and I return into a culture that calls us consumers rather than creators. A culture so thick with trances luring people into buying until they get pinned by debt to a bottom line far beneath their highest calling. I return to movies filled with orange explosions that teach us to cheer for death, to a politics that polarizes rather than draws us together into a great work. In that world, I hear another voice. If you talk about your fields, you're going to look really stupid. The reason you work all alone in your precious field is because nobody else cares. You have no power to oppose the world's momentum. This sneering voice often stuns my will, until another storm calls me out into the fields, and again I see the upward spirals developing all around me, and I feel how simple and right life can be.